Welcome to the jungle time, man.
We need to play some music.
It's more fun when you're live, right?
I mean, what's the alternative? Being dead?
Do you like my I See Dead People idea for the t-shirts yesterday?
I missed that one.
You didn't even.
Why don't you ask people if they like it?
You didn't even comment.
No, I did not. Dude, there was like 17 texts back and forth, and I was driving.
So you never even responded,
No.
even when you got home. All right.
No.
So here, as we get ready to do this recording, I would like to get some input from you, the listener at home. What do you think? Okay, we're trying to improve the swag store. We realize, like, hey, Wealth Wall Street, the name is cool, but look, we could improve our options in the swag store. So we're thinking of some like customized t-shirts that might happen. So here's some of the ideas that went out, and you can tell us which one you like. I'm just going to hit some of the highlights, the ones that like got some feedback from us internally.
Okay.
Get this, 401k. That's not my bag, baby.
Do you have to say it like that?
Well, I mean, that's the way Austin Powers said it. That's the way I would say it. All
right, tell us if you like it.
This one, earmuffs, by the way, if you're traveling with kids. This was a Dumb and Dumber reference. That Dave Ramsey's full of shit, man. If you don't get that reference, think back to John Denver and the Rocky Mountains. How about IBC bringing sexy back?
Yeah, I don't like that one.
You didn't like that one?
No.
How about For the Kids? To infinity, no, to infinite banking and beyond. I couldn't even say it right. I was so excited about the infinity part. We've actually had some people said this is infinity banking.
People think it is infinity banking.
To infinite banking and beyond. That's actually a pretty good one for multiple reasons because people mess that up all the time. Oh, this is more of a local, not a local, but like a relevant new one. No IBC, no peace. Has multiple meanings to it.
What do you think? Do you like any of these?
This throws me back to my Auburn days because I'm an Auburn Tiger man. Bo knows IBC. I like that one.
That's a 90s reference.
Yeah, or they're all 90s references.
Okay.
Hasta la vista, Wall Street. No,
that one's a little tight, a little tough for me.
How about Yo Mama is so Wall Street? Go back to the Yo Mama jokes.
I could get behind that.
Oh, here's one from the 90s. Wall Street. Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand.
Tell me you didn't tell somebody back in the 90s, talk to the hand. You know you did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely did that.
Oh, a Friends reference. Financial freedom. How you doing?
How you doing? Capital U.
Oh, show me the money. What's without Wall Street?
I like that one.
All right, here's one for the Stallion. Yo, Adrian, I'm financially free.
I don't know. I don't know if I like that one.
How about the Ace?
I should like it.
I got an Ace of Base reference for you. So imagine a market crash, right? You see like a stock ticker and it's crashing. I saw the sign.
I saw the sign.
Yeah, you don't know the song. I saw the sign.
No,
by
I know
Ace of
the
Base?
song, but what does it have to do with the market crash?
I saw the sign, and so I left Wall Street, man.
Okay.
Man, if you got to explain it, it doesn't work. I get it.
Yeah, move on.
Okay,
here's no good.
Here's a Chris Tucker from Friday reference. Financial freedom. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
I get that one.
I know you kind of like the one. We got nothing to do tomorrow. We got no job. Puff puff pass.
But,
puff puff pass.
Did we haven't even said the one that is my favorite.
Hold on a second. JD had one I thought was pretty good. And the fact that I was listening to Sirius Radio and the song Waterfalls came on. He said, don't go chasing market returns. Listening to your broker and lies that he feeds you. Oh, so good. Oh, how about IBC, you complete me?
That is awesome.
Or you had me at passive income.
No, I like that one better.
Or IBC, just do it.
I don't want to.
All right, so in the comments, please let us know if any of those rang a bell, or if you got a better one. Like today, I was sharing it with my workout guys, and they went on the dad bod stuff.
Okay.
Like my dad bod may be off but my financial freedom is strong, to quite strong.
I like that one. Financial freedom, quite strong to quite strong.
Yeah. All right. What was yours? I didn't hear.
All right, you didn't even. So my favorite one,
What was it?
Dear 401k. It's not you, it's me. Wealth Without Wall Street.
That's not bad.
Come on.
I like that one.
Give me something.
Here's what I want to have on my shirt: the 401 Lake House on the front, and then the benefits of it on the back.
I like that.
All right, let's get on to what this is all about, which is passive income. We're actually sharing our numbers for the month.
Welcome to the Wealth Without Wall Street podcast, your guide to understanding how to get out of the Wall Street rat race and start your own mailbox money lifestyle. Now, don't let these handsome Southern draws fool you. These financial minds are teaching our country to enhance savings, increase cash flow, and create passive income, all without the help of Wall Street. Are you ready to break through? Now here are your hosts, Russ Morgan and Joey Murray.
All right, Stallion, this is the month of March passive income report, and I'm a little bit excited. We went over $40,000 in passive income in the month of March.
I mean, who would have thought that just about a year ago we started getting really serious about this? I mean, would you have thought in 1 year we could have created that kind of cash flow?
I absolutely can, because I'm an optimist.
You're just pedal to the metal, man.
I love it. Like, I actually am a little bit disappointed that it's not 50,000. My goal, 100,000. When are we going to get 100,000?
Give me a couple weeks.
Let's do this thing, man. Come on, let's bring it.
All right. Well, you guys always tune into this, and we're gonna break these down as usual. Let's start at the top on our sheet. At least if you're watching this in our show notes, you can see the numbers. The land business. Okay, when we talk about land business, we're talking about land flipping, raw land. We're buying at 20 to 30 cents on the dollar, turn around and selling it to people on the retail market for. Oh, you're going to share the screen. Okay. Turn around and selling it on terms, almost like they're buying a car note. All right. And so if we can do that over and over and over again, we can stack up a lot of passive income. In the month of March, our passive income portion of this was $4,688.48. Now, not everybody wants to pay for land on terms. Some people just want to pay cash. They just want to be done with it. They want to own the land right away. And we were fortunate. We had somebody in the month of March that wanted to buy a piece of land outright. So they gave us $7,000. Now, we only paid $3,100 for the lot.
Well, I hope so. That's the whole goal. Buy low, sell high.
That's right. But we're all about getting that cash sale to add to our monthly passive.
So
That's
had
like
over $11,000 in passive income from our land business, which that is, if you've not followed this, please go to thelandgeek.com. Check out Mark Podolsky's team. They have an amazing program that can teach you everything that Joey and I have learned. And we actually have an opportunity here this week to speak to their meeting. They do a quarterly boot camp. And so if you're listening to this live, if you want to hop on over there and participate in that boot camp, we'd love to see your face. Let them know that you heard about them here, because they are a great sponsor of the Wealth Without Wall Street show.
And by the way, before we move into the next strategy, we got a huge update for you coming next month in the land business.
Huge update.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Is it where in just our terms income, we went over almost $10,000 in passive income?
You can't tell people that.
I just did.
Okay, well, we're going to tell you more details in April. Okay,
I didn't tell them how. Like, it was an exciting thing that happened.
Okay, you have to tune in to hear how.
I'm literally, please, and I know my wife's not watching or listening to this, but if you see her later, don't tell her before Mother's Day. But I bought her a present that actually I was going to give her for Christmas. I went ahead and bought it because we were at this thing in Gatlinburg not too long ago. She said, I really would love that. That would be amazing. I was like, all right, done. And so I just wrote it down, bought it once we came back. It just came in the mail. I just opened the box. I was like, what's this? Like, it was like Christmas for me. Like, oh yeah, that's that thing, right? I completely had forgot about it. And she was texting me telling me, hey, do you want to do XYZ for your mom for Mother's Day? And I was like, Mother's Day? Because I can't wait till Christmas to give that thing to her. It's way too far from now.
Way too far.
I probably won't be able to wait till Mother's Day, but I got it. I got the Mother's Day present knocked out.
Well done.
Check mark.
Well done.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some other business that we have. The short-term rental business is the thing that I think I'm most excited about because we have been just growing that like gangbusters. We started our first short-term rental, put it on Airbnb June of 2020. We have now expanded to 21 units, Stallion.
That's right. Just most recently added 2 3-bedroom units, which we had only done 1 and 2 bedroom units up to this point.
And I think that was super needed because there is some real strategy there. And I want to share a little bit about this because I think there's benefits. Like when you start in the short-term rental business, you really need to pick out who you're going to serve. And we had this mindset of business traveler, traveling nurses, maybe like small families coming in town for little small events. And what we have found is that market is very cyclical, right?
Yep.
There's times in the week, times in the year where it can be really dead. And for us to really kind of balance this out, we need to also seek another customer avatar that we can serve to help offset those slow months. And I think in what we've seen in our 2 bedrooms and now in the 3 bedrooms as we just launched it is that there is a lot more demand for local traveler, people whose house are being repaired for whatever reason. People are moving into town and need a place for a couple weeks, sometimes months. We've seen this right now with the real estate market being so hot. People are selling houses before they can go buy their own because they're selling stinking so fast and they're having trouble buying a house. And so nobody wants to be dealing with the contingency. So that's been an issue. So people need to sell their house. Then they got to go live somewhere for a couple of weeks, month until they're able to get into the new place. So that 2, 3, and coming soon, bro, we got to get some 4 bedrooms. I think it's going to help us kind of balance things out.
Well, and I want to point out this. So one of the things that happened is in the month of March, we actually realized that there was a tornado that came through Birmingham and about 300 families were displaced with their houses being just demolished. And Russ and I saw that and said, we literally got the call the next day and said, hey, do you want to take down these 3-bedroom units at one of the complexes that we have several other units?
And let's have that internal conversation. So we got the message. The complex said we got 3. We want to get you guys first dibs before we go to the other corporate housing group. And I call you up, Stallion. I'm like, Stallion, I think we need to do this thing, man. Let's play this out. Let's let everybody hear. Let's let them in on the conversation. What was your first thought when I said I think we should do this?
My first thought was let's really hone in on the 19 units that we have and make those things just bust open. Like let's get those things just crushing. Because I mean, if you've been tuning in, last month we actually took a loss in February.
Well, we took a loss in our total because we are doing a little bit differently than the average person. Most people do this as a side hustle. We are not doing it as a side hustle. We created a business. We've put all the employees in the business, and we're trying to build it up to where it would literally run where we're in that B quadrant position. So we made a profit. But once we paid all the team that are doing the things that most of the people would be doing themselves,
that's true.
We end up having a small loss.
But internally, I'm just being honest with you.
That's what you're thinking.
I was thinking we need to make this thing uber profitable before we start adding additional inventory.
And so here's what I'm thinking. I know you probably know this already about me if you listen to our show enough. My I'm thinking is, how am I going to convince the Stallion that we need to do this thing? Right. So I use the oldest method in the book, FOMO. I told the Stallion, here's what I told the Stallion. I was like, bro, I get it, man. I get it. I think this is one of those things that it may not work out. It could totally be a bust. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my own on the side if you don't want to do it. I just threw the lure out there and all of a sudden, That fish started running with it, man.
I'm not about to miss out. Come on, man.
So anyway, we didn't do all three, which I'm a little bit pissed about because like literally a week after saying yes, we were still a week away from being able to go live with them. Blessed. I'm really blessed. And Clint, who runs our short-term rental business, and the team that he's been able to build, like the designers jumped in. The designers actually, their warehouse was hit by the tornado. So they've been displaced. They're like, but they were just champs, man. They jumped in there in like really short period of time and were able to get these three bedrooms up and running. And Clint got on the phone and started calling and talking to different adjusters and insurance agencies. He connected to a company who actually works with insurance companies to place their policy holders who have been out. And he got in touch with a company and within like 8 hours signed a 6-month contract, Joey.
Yes.
$4,100 a month, and the rent on that $1,550. Like that's just dumb. Like it was just like check. Yes, can I get more of those, please?
Too easy.
So anyway, that was a good decision. And while we haven't had the second one booked yet for 6 months, it has been dead solid for us for the next, I don't know, month and a half. Like we're seeing that the 2 and the 3 bedroom units are actually performing much better than our 1 bedroom. So I don't know if this works all across the country or not, but for our purposes, Joey, I'm saying let's keep stacking on the 2, 3, 4 bedroom units. I don't want any more 1 bedrooms. I just want to go bigger.
Well, you always want to go big or go home. And if you've been listening to us for any amount of time, you know that this is a super exciting business. It is extremely profitable in terms of if you compare it to anything else for the upfront cost and the long-term kind of growth model that this will produce. If you're wanting to learn more about this, we have created a mastermind with Clint, our operator, at the helm, teaching you real time. Okay. All the things he's had to learn by bumps and bruises along the way, you're getting to borrow that and not have to pay retail for it. We have some openings actually coming up in May for our STR Mastermind. If you're interested, go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/STR Mastermind, and you can sign up there today. We actually are really getting a lot of great results from our January and March classes. There's a movement of people that are implementing this as their path to financial freedom. And so we'd love to have you join us there. Anything you want to add to that, Russ?
No, totally. You absolutely need to jump on this train. And here's a little, can I give a tip for those who,
well, what are they going to get when they go through?
Well, hold on. Let me give you like a discount. Is it okay if I give away a discount?
Okay.
It's $750 a month for 3 months. And at the end of that 3 months, you better have your first short-term rental up and operating, producing at a minimum $500 a month. We're seeing that after paying management fees, we can produce $500 a month. So for some people who are not doing that, doing everything themselves, they're seeing $800. One of our students right now who's in the March class, our March short-term rental class, last month produced $5,500. He's dumb. Now he's in Fort Worth. Okay. It's not, that's just a different market than here. I think we need to go to Fort Worth a little bit, but I mean, it was just dumb.
So some competition.
This is a concept. Once you go through this training, and I've gone through it, I actually took my daughter and I went through this training ourselves. You literally learn every tool that you need to have, while at the same time having the ability to have an operator at your disposal to ask questions. And what I've learned through this, Joey, is that those who go through this, and we've had so many testimonials now that you can go to that wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/STR Mastermind. You can hear how they're experiencing. We've had students go through, and by the end of this, have 3-4 units up and running. This is and by the way, you're going to get access to all the details, and this lasts forever. But here's what doesn't last forever is access to this deal. So right now, if you go, little tweak here, if you join the inner circle, if you're not already a member,
I forgot about
that. If you join the inner circle, we actually give you a $150 a month discount, $450 off the 3 months. So it would literally pay for the inner circle for the whole year. I'm not telling you, please don't do this if you're cheap, but if you want to be cheap, do this if you want to. But you can actually join the inner circle under the 7-day free trial. So if you really want to be super cheap on this, you could join the inner circle, do the deal, and then be gone. But I hope that you would say, hey, I think there's enough content in this inner circle that would allow me to not only pay for it, I still get a discount because the inner circle is what, $40 a month? Yeah. I'm still going to get both things for the price of one. So you can't there's your offer. Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/inner circle, and then you can find the link in there to join the STR Mastermind for May. Only got a handful of seats left. If you're listening to this, obviously after May 2021, you can still go to strmastermind.com, wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/STR Mastermind, and join whatever new group is launching. Are you looking for ways to implement ideas, get exposure to new ones, and be surrounded by people on the same journey as you? Joey, where can they go to do that?
Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/community. You can join for free today.
All right, Joey. So in the month of March, our Wealth Without Wall Street togetherness, our together units, right, under Wake Up in Birmingham, brought in a profit of over $8,000.
$8,617.
Now, I am an investor in some other deals, right? So like our whole business as a whole produced a little bit more than that. And I know you love it when I kind of talk about what else I'm doing. You know, this is that fear of missing out for Joey sometimes.
Just rub the salt in the wound.
So I'm trying to pull that up real quick. I want to see what was the profit. Okay, so on my other units, I brought in another roughly $1,700 of cash flow, but we didn't add to this. So it was a little over $10,000 from Wake Up in Birmingham's short-term rental business.
Well done.
I love it, man. Dude, fist bump on that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go. Come on.
All right. Speaking of let's go to the next strategy. We have our ATM fund. All right. Tell folks about that.
Well, have you ever been at a casino and the dice just weren't rolling your way and you thought, you know what? If I could only get $400 more, I could turn this whole thing around. And so you walk over there to the ATM, you put your money in. It's like, hey, there's a $17.60 fee to access this $400. Well, that fee goes to someone, and that fee's going to us. Joey and I actually own 7 different ATMs, and I don't know if they're in casinos, if they're in gas stations and McDonald's, or for those who don't realize that the banks most oftentimes don't even own their own ATM. So we may actually have an ATM there. We are in an ATM fund, and we get paid every single month for the next 7 years, Stallion. And last month, our ATMs brought in $2,184. Now, here's a question that we have gotten asked before. That sounds really interesting. How much money did you have to put in to buy those ATMs?
Just to buy those 7 that come in blocks of 7, it's $104,000.
$104,000. Now, Joey, because those are equipment, we actually were able to apply the bonus depreciation to those last year. And so for us last year, we were able to write off almost $40,000 of that. So we have a little over $60,000 in the deal. And we're going to bring in $2,184 for the next 84 months, right?
Yep.
That's $183,000 over the next 7 years for that initial $60,000 investment. Now, Joey, where did we get that $60,000 to put into those ATMs?
From our policies.
So whose money did we put in there? Ours?
The insurance company.
What is our money doing?
Our money's still growing.
It's still tick, 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 tick. It went up yesterday, went up the day before that. It's going up tomorrow. And this is a beautiful thing. This is why we talk about having a system that never sleeps, that's always growing. So these passive income ideas that we're sharing with you, we're applying the same principles that we talk about on our roundtable about using the infinite banking concept to apply. So, Joey, we also have another little crazy business, one that is a little bit more exciting today after that lunch we had.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Russ and I are actively mining cryptocurrency. And to be specific, Ethereum is a type of cryptocurrency that these computers that we purchased mine on an constant basis. And every month it produces a portion of one coin.
We get a little piece of a token of
That's
a
right.
coin.
That's right.
I learned that. I picked that up today from our lunch. So Joey takes me to lunch with the guy, and it's a friend of his from college. And this guy is like the crypto genius. He's the aficionado of crypto.
Yes.
And you knew it when he showed up. It's like, that dude looks like he knows something about crypto, right? Like, I'm a guy who shows up and like, that dude knows nothing about crypto. He probably owns it, but he knows nothing about it. And this guy, he sits down. I'm telling you, y'all, like, this is a thing that I've been in a handful of these conversations, and I probably retained about 3.5% of the content that came out of the dude's mouth. He was using words that just were way over my head. But he is so fired up, and not from a like, okay, I get excited the way I am right now with you talking about this. Like, he has been following this, investigating this. He is actually an investment asset manager for a major business out there. It's actually an insurance company. It's shocking. And so, I mean, he was telling us about how he was a part of a $70 million trade that, that went through his desk, and he was talking about the mechanics of it. This guy is constantly dealing in money. And so when he starts getting into crypto, he starts saying, look, the value, when we see volatility in the dollar, he said, it's not volatility in crypto, it's volatility in the dollar. Because we see that crypto is going up and down. He says, no, crypto is going up. The dollar is what's adjusting. And he is a full believer in the smart contracts that are backing this. He gets into the economics, which I did follow that part when he said, like Bitcoin, for instance, Bitcoin every single year is reducing the amount of coinage that you can mine in half, but yet the demand for it is constantly going up. It only makes sense then. More demand, less supply. What happens to the price?
Going up.
It has to, right? Yep. And he started talking about all these different companies. He even showed us this cool little app that made the whole concept of what's happening
on blockchain,
with like little people getting onto buses. And it's like I need that right there. I resonate with.
I mean, you would not need that app, because you would watch that thing all day looking to see if you knew somebody getting on the bus.
But the so what to this is that, I mean, this guy bought Bitcoin at $200 and still holds that same coinage today. So that just gives you an idea of like his expertise and what he's been doing on this. But I'm excited by what's happening. And he also was telling us some ideas that we'll have to share maybe in a future episode as we implement them, about how we don't even have to sell our crypto to go to earning cash flow. There's some other ideas we can do it. But for the month of March, our miners, which I added some, shocker.
Yeah, wait till April. Just wait.
Yeah, okay? I went ahead and added some. So my number's a little bit bigger than Joey's. I had 10,000 of income. Joey had 4. I netted $9,700. Joey netted $3,300. But still,
I mean, that's 13 grand.
We're not who's keeping
between
track?
the two.
It's 13 grand for both of us. Like, this is a partnership.
That's saying something.
I mean, I'll share the numbers with you. I'm not sharing the money with you. I share the numbers with you.
Man, thank you for sharing numbers. I really appreciate it. But y'all, this is a really exciting time to be learning something new. I mean, that's what I love about this is Russ and I have not arrived in any of these. And if you're thinking, well, these guys are a different level than I am, I can't do the same thing, that's hogwash. You are absolutely empowered to do the same education process that we're doing. And we want you on this journey. I mean, that's why if you're not a part of our community and you're not learning along with us, you're missing out. You need to go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/community. We want people like you that are looking to do this in the same room with us. These are the kind of things that you're not going to hear these conversations at the water cooler, stuck with everybody else that is not financially free, wondering how they're going to ever retire. Okay. That's not the conversation you want to be in.
So I sat last weekend, took Ryan, we went down went over east to just east of Atlanta on a father-son camp out retreat, and sitting around a campfire, talking to some guys, awesome conversations. A couple of them knew what we did, and so kind of started bringing up the conversation. shocking that I engaged in it, right? And we're talking about stuff. And they're like, well, what sort of stuff are you guys doing? I'm like, well, I mean, it's almost kind of like, what are we not doing, right? Yeah, we do this thing called land flipping. We also have a short-term rental business. We got some ATMs out there. We mine cryptocurrencies. We own some, apartments over in South Carolina. We've got another condo here in town. Have an information business. We also own a small part in a cattle company. I started going through, and these guys are like, I thought you were going to say you own a couple of rental houses or something.
That's about where the story ends with most people. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing is that you don't have to pick all of those things. Pick one. I heard somebody say this the other day, is that when people say, oh, rich people or wealthy people diversify, so I need to diversify. And the guy said, no, that's BS. He said, I'm not saying that rich people don't diversify their money, but they didn't diversify their money at the beginning. They diversified it once they had it. They went all in on one thing. They crushed one thing, and that's where they built their wealth. And then once they had wealth, then they started taking it and diversifying it. So when you hear Joey and I talking about this, not that we are wealthy, not that we've arrived in that, but yet we have gone all in on Wealth Without Wall Street. We've been crushing IBC for 11 years personally. We've built up 7 figures in cash values to have the ability to do the things that we're talking about. So don't try to go do all the things we're talking about. Go crush one thing. Do that one thing. And once you start establishing that, then branch out, then go. So whatever these things are in our community, you have the ability to take the investor DNA. That investor DNA can tell you who you are as an investor. We actually have a spreadsheet that goes with it. And we'll talk about all the different types of passive income that we're involved in and how your profile, your personality, what you'll like about that and what you won't like about that. It helps narrow down the decision-making for you. We've done that legwork. We're talking about this to show you if 2 rednecks from Alabama can do it, you can do it too. But everything that Joey and I are doing is in our community. All this content's getting poured in there. So don't miss out on the opportunity to hear that. I know we got to wrap up, Joey. We don't have a whole lot of to talk about on the real estate side right now. We did have some exciting things happen in the community. You want to share that?
Yeah. So just going along with what you're saying, the Investor DNA is one of those products that we've developed that we do get paid when you buy, right? And there's multiple things within the community that go along with that. The masterminds, the Freedom Seekers Masterclass, various different things we've created. All that revenue in the month of March was $13,844. We do have a cost to operate that business, not to mention the app that you use every day has a big expense to us every year. So those expenses are almost $6,500. We netted $7,300 from our information business.
So if you looked at the spreadsheet, you would see if you netted all that down, we had a little over 42,000. Maybe almost close to 45,000 if you threw in my other revenue from Wake Up in Birmingham from the investor side. It was a great month. I'm just excited to see what next month's. I know it's already bigger, right? I already know some of the numbers because we're recording this in April. And we've already had a great start to the month. But let this be an encouragement to you. Please take action on one strategy. If you need to go into our community, you need to take the investor DNA, determine whether or not if short-term rental is your space that you should be into. If it's that, awesome. Join our short-term rental mastermind and then go deep on that one thing. It's something you can get involved in at a very low price point if you're following our model where we're not buying units. We're literally following a master lease or rental arbitrage, as they would refer to it. And you can be successful too. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you'll join us on the next one. As always, have an amazing day.
This has been the Wealth Without Wall Street podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show to break free of the Wall Street mindset and begin building wealth on your own terms in places you understand so that your wealth will never run dry. See you next episode.